Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Great. To our friends in California, good morning. My name is Brooke Dickhart. I'm the Executive Director of the Joel Fund, and we are one of the organizations that puts together the VMFA meetings. So since we do have new people here, I would like to start with our mission. So our mission of the VMFA is to strengthen the local veteran and military community. Our objectives are to identify gaps, opportunities, and barriers in service to improve service for veterans and military families. We work to coordinate information on services for veterans and military families. And we educate veterans, military families, and community advocates on community-based efforts and suicide prevention. So I appreciate everyone being here. Our topic for today is veteran housing. And before we begin with our panel discussion, we're going to go around the room and do introductions, and we're going to start here in person. So if you will, please introduce yourself. Let us know what organization you represent, and please share if you have a military connection.
Hello, I am Karla Jackson. I am the veteran housing social worker with Wake County. I'm one of the panelists that's here today. I was in the Navy for 8 years, and I loved every second of it for the most part. I miss it. But yeah, I enjoy working with the gentleman down at South Wilmington Street Center. Before that, I worked with Veteran Services of the Carolinas, which also worked with Brooke, and Veterans Bridge Home and a lot of the other partners that are here. So I will save a lot of what I do because we'll talk about it more. I'm
Antonio Bird, 20-year Marine veteran, marketing community coordinator with Veterans Bridge Home Triangle.
Katrina Powell, I am an Army veteran, market community coordinator for the Triangle Veterans Bridge Home.
I am Maria Anderson, Director of Homeowner Services for Habitat for Humanity of Wake County, and my father was a Korean War veteran.
Christopher Miner, I do mortgage processing for Habitat for Humanity, and both of my parents were in the military.
I'm Dan McHugh. I'm the Director of Development for Habitat for Humanity, Wake County. My aunt and uncle were in the Air Force, and we have a veteran build program at Habitat that I have to coordinate.
Matt DeVivo, Reserve Component Transition Assistance Advisor. Reserve Component's focused on those soldiers and airmen and Marines and sailors across the state, making sure they know about the benefits that they've earned. So I get out there and give them all your contact information, make sure they find the right people to help them. And my dad was also a Korean War veteran.
So, okay, online, Shelton.
Greetings, everyone. Good to see all of those that I know. Good to see those I don't know. Shelton and Fairclough, out of San Diego, California, currently working with Department of Veteran Affairs, retired Army, always willing to help and learn and do to see what we can do to help veterans.
Thank you. Allie?
Hi, I'm Allie Anderson. I am the Community Care Manager here at the Joel Fund. I'm the daughter of 2 Air Force service members, both veterans. My husband is active duty, and my husband is active duty.
Thank you. Paul?
Good afternoon, Paul Berry with Veterans Bridge Home. Just wear many hats, but one of them is Triangle Network Director, and served 30 years in the Marine Corps.
Thanks, Paul. Yesenia?
Hi, everyone. Military veteran, Marine Corps, 24 years. I like to say that I started a trend with my family. I got my nephew, my son, my daughter. They're all serving right now. So a big military family. I work for Hire Heroes USA. I am one of their federal employment program specialists. So I do everything federal.
Awesome, thank you. Ashley?
Hi, I'm Ashley Wheeler. I am the Student Success Coach for veterans and military students at Wake Tech Community College.
Thank you. Landry?
Hi, everyone. My name is Landry Young. I'm the Marketing and Outreach Manager here at the Joel Fund. and my husband is currently active duty.
So, Siobhan?
Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm Siobhan Norris. I'm the Division Director for Wake County Veteran Services, and I am a Army veteran and a long family member of military service.
Thank you. Jared?
Hey everybody, my name is Jared Arceo. I'm a Marine Corps veteran and I'm also the outreach liaison for Hopeway Mental Health Facility here in Charlotte. And I facilitate and coordinate for veterans and first responders looking for mental health support.
Thank you. Dietrich?
Hi, my name is Dietrich Lamedy. I'm a retired Marine Corps vet. I work for California Employment Development Department. We work with disabled veterans, helping them find employment. And currently we're partnering with an organization called Vietnam Village of San Diego to put on a once a year event called Stand Down, which is similar to what you do, except it's just once a year instead of once a month, like you all are doing. I look forward to logging in each week to learn more best practices and how we can improve what we do here in San Diego. Thank you.
So thanks for joining us. Danny?
Hey guys, my name is Danny Steele. I'm an Army veteran and I'm also an intern here with the Joel Fund and a social work program. So very honored to be here. Thank you all for showing up. I'm here ready to learn from you guys. So super excited.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, Monica?
Hi, everybody. I'm LaMonica Coleman with Women Veteran Support Services. I'm an Air Force vet. Long history of veterans in my family. Have a family that serves, have a Marine vet, and my son's an Army vet. So just here.
Thank you. Good to see you. Jamie?
Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Upchurch. I'm the Women Veteran Program Manager for the Durham VA Healthcare System. I'm not affiliated, was not a veteran, not in the military, but very strong family history of service in my family. So happy to be here, happy to serve. This is my first meeting with this particular organization coming together. So I'm also excited to learn what you guys talk about on this call.
Thanks, Jamie. Russ?
Hi, I'm also a veteran of the Air Force. I work for the Division of Workforce Solutions here in Raleigh with NC Works. I'm a Veterans Employment Specialist. I'm in the same boat as Jamie. This is my first meeting that I've attended as well, so just kind of trying to check it out.
Awesome. Welcome. Brenda?
Hello, Brenda and Sam. Sam's in the background here.
Hi, Sam.
Hey. We are both kids of veterans, and we both served in the Navy in the early 70s. He was a corpsman, I was a nurse. And we represent Vietnam Veterans of America, and I represent Triangle Women Veterans as well.
Thank you. And last we have S. Green is what your screen says. Are you able to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Sierra Green. I'm Director of Programs here at Passage Homes. I'm not a veteran and have never served in the military, but I do have experience about 13 years of working with veteran services. And we are located in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Thank you. I might call on you some to participate in this conversation if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So, did I miss anyone before we online? I think I got everyone. Okay, awesome. I always like to make sure. I think this is probably one of our most popular topics that we have each month. We only allocate about an hour. I think we could probably go much longer. But we try to bring in different people from the community to talk about how they work with veterans. Officially, our panelists, we have Dan and Maria, both from Habitat for Humanity in Wake and Johnston counties. And then we have Karla Jackson with Wake County Veteran Services. And I'm going to just kind of lead a panel discussion on the housing and what we've got going on. And actually, before I do that, Paul, will you just kind of highlight some of the NC Serves things, like the requests that you've seen over the last month and what the housing requests are looking like right now?
Yeah, Brooke, I'm sharing right now. If you, can you see that?
Yes,
And
perfect.
I'll be quick. Let's move you guys out of the way. So year to date in the 10 counties that we say comprise the triangle, you can see we've had 565 cases for 318 veterans, but if you look lower middle, 186 of those were for housing. And I'll move on. Good news is the housing referrals that we are seeing, including all the other referrals with it, is very good resolution rates in the triangle, just showing that the community partners are very supportive of us sending referrals to and from them for NC Serve. So about an 85% resolution rate. And then I'll get a little bit more specific. When I narrowed it down to Wake County, it's still, Wake County comprises the majority of the housing and shelter referrals. And it's very obvious, of course, there's 55,000 plus veterans and are moving here every day. Lack of affordable housing, many things like that. And then, of course, our rural communities are much less, but with different challenges. And what we are proud of is we've had 16 partners send us housing referrals, and we've sent to 48 different partners in Wake County year to date, and that's 125 total referrals. And the Wake County resolution rate for housing is 86%. I will say again, that resolution rate means they're connected to a housing partner. That does not mean they're housed. Unfortunately, we cannot track it that far. We just would run out of staff time. Are they housed? Not necessarily, but they are in a program to get to be housed. And I'll probably wrap it up here, Brooke, for the sake of time. But I pulled up what was called co-occurring needs. This is for all of NC Care 360, so all citizens of the triangle and co-occurring needs around housing. So when community partners use Unite Us to refer for housing and shelter referrals in the triangle, the co-occurring needs of food assistance, utilities, employment, income support, and transportation, you can see down here in the bottom left. And that's the beauty of having this alliance, the monthly copies, and many other groups, is that we can address those co-occurring needs using technology. So thanks, Brooke. And I'll send these to you, Brooke, if I didn't. I don't remember if I did.
You sent me one, but if you could send me the rest, that would be very
Okay,
great.
yeah, I don't think I sent you all of this. So I'll send you this with some notes later, Brooke. Thanks.
Thank you. I think it's important for us to look at that each time. It's a good, snapshot of what veterans in our region are looking for, what they're asking for. And it's why it's so important to have these conversations, because we talk about those topics. But what I would like to start with is, Karla, could you just kind of go through a little bit more of what your specific role is within Wake County?
Sure. Like I said, I'm the Veterans Housing Social Worker for Wake County Veteran Services Division. My office is at the South Wilmington Street Men's Center. So right now I'm bound by my job to work strictly with the men at that center. So what that looks like is if you have a homeless veteran per se, if you would like me to be able to work with them on a one-on-one basis, they would have to come to the shelter. There's several ways you can do that. You can have them go to Healing Transitions and get a referral from Healing Transitions. They'll be put on a priority list right now. You can contact me. You can do that. I have business cards if you want to pass them around. If you want to contact me, I can learn a little bit more about your situation. The veteran does need to reside in Wake County. So take that for what you will. If they resided last night in Wake County, then I guess they resided in Wake County, didn't they? So there is a way around everything. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Soon the supervisor position, we're going to be hiring for that. That will open more avenues. But just for the staff we have right now, that's kind of where we're at. So at the center, once the men are there, I'm automatically their social worker from the second they walk in. as far as housing goes, we work with employment first. If they are not employed, we have it set up that their goal is employment. They are required by the center to apply for at least 10 jobs per month. Per week, excuse me. And they have to write those down. We have a document that they have to fill out, and if they do them online, I'm sure you've all filled out online, they kick you back some email that says you applied. They have to show those to the social worker to prove that they have indeed applied for these jobs. So, that's how we take care of that. If they are receiving disability or are unable to work, we assess those people as they come, with the ultimate goal of housing at the end. You cannot enter this shelter without housing being your ultimate goal, because that is the goal of this shelter. It is an entry-exit shelter with housing being the ultimate goal. So when I do things a little differently than a lot of the social workers there, I'm a little more, I came from a peer support background, so I like to incorporate that a lot more with my veterans, because I am a veteran myself, and I just like to be a little more personable with them. I don't treat them like just a number. So I kind of get to know them a little bit more, and figure out not everybody's the same. This route may work best for this person. So you've got HUD-VASH, you've got FSVF, and then we have our veterans vouchers. So, you know, you get those clients that they have a dishonorable discharge, and you see, oh, they're ineligible, and you're like, oh crap, what do I do with this person? We have the answer. We have veterans vouchers for Wake County that are for those people. They're designed to pick up those guys that don't qualify for HUD-VASH. They can't get SSVF because they got the dishonorable discharge, or they didn't have enough time in, they didn't make it out of boot camp, whatever have you. The veterans voucher is there for those people. So Wake County has what is called a RAP voucher. So the voucher itself is the RAP voucher. So there's different programs that Wake County has that utilize this voucher. And to qualify for the voucher itself, you need to be, and I can provide you with all this information for you to put out to everybody, but you need to be homeless in Wake County, and chronically homeless individuals are given priority, and you have to be at least 18 years of age. You must be disabled, either serious mental illness, substance use disorder, physically disabled. And when I disseminate information, it goes more into detail on that. You don't necessarily have to be clinically diagnosed. Someone like me, a social worker, an intake staff it can be something they've taken note of. And they can meet that requirement that way. But a referral needs to be placed for the certain service that they've noted the deficiency in. And then for whatever program they're looking, like, let's say HOPWA for instance, that's for individuals with HIV and AIDS. So they have to meet their specific program requirements. For us, you have to be a veteran, okay? And you complete the application. There is what's called a VI-SPDAT. That's for emergency shelter veterans. So my veterans would have to do a VI-SPDAT with me. And then they have the documentation that's required, which is required for most any application that a veteran is going to have to do. Their driver's license, social security cards, birth certificates for minors, income, expenses, asset verification, disability verification, homeless verification, which if they are out the shelter will provide that. And then the asset verification, I have an ROI that was created by Veteran Services that can help me to access that via the use of our VSOs. So that I will be able to access their awards letters. So they do not have to necessarily go out and find them. They will have to get their social security awards letters or anything of that nature. But as far as the veteran stuff, I've worked with the VSOs. Siobhan has it really set up so we work well together and talk often. So they're a pretty good asset there. So for the veterans voucher itself, so that was the RAP voucher. So for the veterans voucher, you must be a veteran. Of course, you have to be homeless, you have to be 18 years of old. 50% of AMI, so area median income of Wake County. And I have, if you don't know what those numbers are and you would like to know what those numbers are, I printed out the HUD income limits. So the 50% AMI for Wake County right now for a single person is $42,850 a year. So that is the income limit for the year for the individual. And then it goes up by two people, 3 people. So the veteran can move their families. We have house families with the veteran voucher. It doesn't have to be a singular person. So we have a husband and wife right now that utilize a veterans voucher. For right now, like I said, they have to be a guest at South Wilmington Street Center. It has to be a 12-month lease. They're required to recertify annually, just like with any voucher. You can pass these around if anybody wants these. These are the HUD income limits. They can do shared living arrangements. So, and I just recently found this out with HUD Bash because it was a question if HUD Bash would allow shared living. Because a lot of the veterans were having a hard time being able to pay what their portion was gonna be with a 1-bedroom. So this past week, we applied one of my veterans in a shared living situation, and it had passed inspection on July 3rd. And so HUD Bash, with the Wake County facilitating the voucher, they will accept shared living. So that's a big deal. Wake County voucher will also do shared living. So they would have to have their own sleeping space and their bathroom. And then we may pay the initial security deposit, but any subsequent deposits are the tenant's responsibility. So Wake County Veterans vouchers themselves, like Wake County Veteran Services does not pay the deposit. It's a program called Bridge to Home. So Bridge to Home, we use it at the shelter. It's not called that quite yet. It's called a different name, right? That program is kind of in the unknown state right now. But what it does is, and we're using it with this client I just spoke about, it will pay, for voucher individuals, it will pay their deposit. If they're unable to secure a voucher for any reason, which in our program, theoretically, they should not. It will pay their deposit, any prorated amount of rent for the month, and then their first month's rent. So that's how that program was designed.
For unvouchered.
For unvouchered, if you are and that's for any individual at the South Wilmington Street Center. They should be able to pay their deposit, their prorated rent, like if they move in the middle of the month, and then their first month's rent. So, but that program that is like in an unknown state right now is what I was told. So it may be around for the long haul, it may not.
Okay.
So, but right now it is here.
They have to come to the shelter to be able to qualify for that.
Yes,
Okay.
that is so it was dispensed to all the different programs like Green Chair Project. They use theirs to make their furniture bundles more affordable. Other programs use it to hire another staff member so they're able to help more individuals. So each program got funding and used it for whatever they used it for.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Wake County, I'm not going off track, is Wake County the only county in our state that has your services? Or the other, like Mecklenburg or the other?
Or like veteran services?
Yeah, for housing, especially focusing on housing.
Maybe Siobhan could answer that question. I know other counties have veteran services divisions.
And those
I'm not
should
sure.
Should have.
I would think so, but I've never worked with the other counties, so I don't know personally. I would think so.
Go ahead.
This is Siobhan. Every county is different. Every county funding is different. So we can't really speak to specific counties, but generally speaking, if they are investing in housing insecurity programs, there's typically a veterans component to it, generally speaking. I hope that helps. If you have specific questions about specific
Would
counties,
the
I'm happy to
VSO,
talk
that county
offline.
VSO, be the person that you probably get to, because we have,
So
our family program.
if the Veteran Service Department has a housing component to it, the VSO should know. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct, yes.
If you don't mind, I'd love to, I want to have Dan and Maria, introduce yourselves, and then we'll come back, and talk about your roles with it, Habitat. And, one of you, if you would just touch on kind of on the veteran program, that, yeah, go ahead, please.
So I'm Dan, I'm the Director of Development, and Habitat's mission is to put God's love into action to build homes, community, and hope. And ways that we do that is we work with low-income families who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford a home, to become homeowners. We build in Wake and Johnston counties. We build, this past year, we built 35 homes, single family and townhomes. And we do about 70 home preservation projects a year, which deal with roofs, fences, siding, for low-income families. So we work with Rebuilding Together the Triangle, with an application process to make sure that people who otherwise, perhaps wouldn't be able to fix something in their home and not be able to live there, we can help with things like that. Right now, we're building 114 homes in Old Cool Place in Southeast Raleigh, which we're really excited about. It's our biggest development from raw land. We also have Flowers Place in Nightdale. We're building 17 homes, and we have a small community in Clayton, Stone Creek. With Habitat, we have volunteer opportunities every week, and we have a veteran build program, which we're really excited about. We're growing it this year to have 4 opportunities in a season of service from September through December. So we'll start with September 11th and go through Pearl Harbor Day, where we invite members of the community to come build with us so that we can address veteran isolation, have veteran employee resource groups from corporations help to fund the homes, because we don't give away homes. The families have to pay an affordable mortgage, and we need the money to buy the land for homeowner services, for advocacy work, all the things that we do. We invite the companies to come and sponsor and build with us, and have veteran members of the community to come build with us too. So we're really excited about that. So very good.
Maria?
Okay, so for our homeownership program, I actually brought out some flyers. Currently, we serve those up to 80% of area median income, very similar to what, I'm sorry, I can't recall your name, Karla passed out earlier. We do not have a down payment. $200 of sweat equity, which is your volunteerism back into the organization, is required. And you have to be able to afford 70% of the pre-appraised value of a home in order to be eligible to purchase. So we do a pre-appraisal, which is again prior to construction, and then we do a final appraisal. So as long as you can afford that 70% at 2% interest, then you're eligible for our program, and you're committed to doing 200 hours of sweat equity. If sweat equity needs to be modified due to any type of disabilities or conditions, we can do that as well. We've had several veterans come through our program. We just had a Navy veteran close 2 months ago in our Old Pool Place development, which was super neat because her home was made ADA compliant, excuse me. So we were super excited about that. And so that's really our program in a nutshell. We're super excited about this potential partnership with you guys and getting our information out. I think a lot of veterans are a little bit hesitant with Habitat because they want to use their VA certificates, which we don't do VA loans because our interest rate is much lower than the VA interest rate, which is right now 6.9%. So if you want to come over and give us 200 hours of your time, we can make you guys a homeowner at 2% interest. Plus, our veterans are able to get down payment assistance through Federal Home Loan Bank at $15,000, which is forgivable after 5 years and is not repayable. So they don't have to pay it back. It goes away after 5 years. And that $15,000 is used to buy down that first mortgage and make it even more affordable for the applicant and their family.
So I have a question for that.
Yes, sir.
So say I'm the homeowner and I meet all the qualifications, and after 2 years, I no longer want that home. Am I eligible to sell that home, or I can stay in that house for a certain time frame?
That is a very good question. Back in 2021, we instituted shared appreciation.
Okay.
So basically what that does is it's prevented some of our homeowners from coming in and flipping their Habitat homes because that was happening rapidly. Folks would get in the program and they would sell after 13, 15 months. and all the money that's coming in from our sponsors was just gone. We lost it to the open market. So what shared appreciation does is help to protect that home and keep it affordable for at least 15 years. So what happens is if you want to sell in the first 5 years, 90% of the proceeds come back to Habitat, and the homeowner is able to keep 10. They only keep 10 because their financial contribution is very limited. Right now, our closing costs are $2,500, but they will go up to $5,000. So there's that. So the first 5 years, it's 90-10. Years 6 through 15 is 50-50, and years 15 through 30 is 100% appreciation towards the homeowner. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what slumpy.
Yeah, that was something new. That was something new that we did, so yeah.
Makes sense.
And if the family wants to sell the home, then, in the deed, Habitat has a right of first refusal, so we can buy the home back, so we can serve another family.
Yeah, it's very rare that we buy homes back because we have to buy them back at appraised value. And it's cheaper for us to build new versus buying back and having to do repairs. And all of our homes come with a 12-month warranty that covers all, just like with any standard home, new construction that you have on the market, so, yeah. And all of our neighborhoods do carry an HOA, and that's just to protect the homeowner's investment within their home. This equity.
Is Habitat in the Wake area leading the way in this, in our state, or other habitats around the state trying to do the same thing?
No, we're leading the way. We are one of the 10 largest affiliates in the country. And we're even bigger than the Charlotte affiliate as far as new construction is concerned.
But there is the Habitat, of course, across the state.
Yeah.
Right, you still get involved in.
Yes, but the difference is every Habitat operates differently, and that's contingent upon its market. So where we sell homes at 70% of appraisal value, you may have the one down in Orange who's selling completely at no value. Like they're totally need-based. We're not, we're affordability-based. You have to be able to afford at least 70%. Yeah.
Do they have to be based in Wake County or Johnston County to qualify beforehand, or can they say, no, I want to move to that county?
Good question. You either have to live or work in either of the two counties in order to be eligible.
Is there a time frame for that? Like say if I have a veteran that's moving, that's transitioning to Wake County and doesn't have a permanent residency or.
As long as he works and either work or live in Wake or Johnston, either or, 12 months prior to application.
Oh, 12 months prior to.
For at least 12 months. We want to make sure our folks are vetted and they are residents of our community. We have seen it all. We've had straw buyers for real estate agents come and try to buy. We've had investors because of that 2% interest rate and because we did not have shared appreciation. So we had to change some things to prevent that. Yeah.
So if we are working with a veteran, and we want to refer them to the program, I'm gonna start with them and then I want, what's the best process? Do I pick up the phone and call you? Are there things that information we should gather beforehand? Can we vet them before we send them to you? Like what's the best process for the people here to be able to refer a veteran to you?
Well, applications are always open and never closed, and it starts on our website, which is habitatwake.org/apply. And it's a simple application like for a rental or for any mortgage lender. It's going to be stated income, which one of my staff or myself will call them back to verify their income, at which time information rolls through a mortgage calculator and we're able to assess their affordability. And that's it. So, and then if they're able to get through that first phase, then we'll ask them to pay a program fee, which is $40 for a single applicant, $65 for a joint applicant that pulls their credit and background. We do that at once. And what we're not looking for a credit score, we're looking for overall credit health. What would be deterrents from the program would be foreclosures, evictions, bankruptcies in the last 24 months, any collections over $1,000. That's really it. And once they're able to come into the program, when they reach that 50 hours of sweat equity, they're able to pick their home or their lot based upon their affordability. And whatever their family needs are as well. So we also look at that and use the HUD heartbeat rule to determine bedroom size. But the smallest home that we build is a 3-2, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, nothing smaller at this time.
Okay. But Brenda had asked, she's heard that Habitat is doing an all women build or a rehab for a veteran, female veteran. Is any truth to that rumor?
We have a women build in March for International Women's History Month. So I help coordinate that as well. We work with different sponsors from companies. They have a lot of women's employee resource groups where we'll come together to support women, show that anybody can build a home. There are a lot of stereotypes at the construction site, especially. So we welcome women to come build with us. We have pink hard hats and shirts, but it's more of a way to empower people to come and volunteer in a safe and inclusive environment. So we had several events earlier in the spring, and we do it every spring at Habitat Week. So we're excited about that.
But that information is gonna be posted, correct, March 2025,
For the next one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, got
we
it.
might have another one before then. We had a lot of interest this year, which was really great. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Brenda, I hope that answered your question. And Jamie said Jamie would like that information too. So, we'll share everyone's contact information afterwards. And I just blanked on what I was gonna say. Shoot, one of the big things about these meetings, so at the very beginning, for those of you who weren't in the room, we had a conversation about a veteran that the Joel Fund is currently helping. We're all here together, we can talk through situations, we don't have to go back and forth through email or set up times to talk. And so through this, I'm learning how Karla can help a veteran. So we're working with a gentleman who's in a hotel right now and is escaping a domestic violence situation. So Karla was walking us through how she is able to help him. So would you share kind of that process with the rest of the group?
Okay, so first off, I will have to talk to my shelter manager, since this is a domestic violence situation and we don't necessarily want to bring the situation to the shelter. This gentleman is likely gonna have to agree that he is not gonna let his wife know where he's at. But to get him on the priority list into the shelter. So once he's there, I'll become his social worker. And then we will have to work together to figure out the logistics of navigating, since he is technically married, housing for him. And he does make a decent income. So at least finding shared housing shouldn't be a problem. Cause we would have to navigate vouchers and things like that. Like I said, he is married. So we would have to, that would be something we would have to explore together, how we're gonna get around that. So I have limited knowledge because I just like you learned this when I got in here. But yeah, it would be contingent upon the shelter manager's acceptance of him into the shelter. But I mean, I know a few programs, like I said, I worked with Veteran Services with the Carolinas before, of some places that he may could get in contact with. USA Veterans Health, Rock Petway may be able to help him. Me and Siobhan do, Rock Petway is great, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, Monica's texting me right now, telling me she can help him too.
Yeah, see, this is the beauty of these stuff.
Sorry, but go ahead. I don't mean to like derail you.
But yeah, there's various different programs that can help him. I mean, and he makes enough money that if he didn't qualify for a voucher, depending on what his expenses are every month, that he could do shared housing and be fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a way out of it. It might not be the way he thought it was gonna go, but it may be a way for now until he gets to where he needs to be.
So we just have to get him to the shelter to start to work with you.
If he chooses to go that route to work with me, then yes.
Okay.
For right now, yes.
Okay. Good to know. Ally, do you have any questions on any of that?
No question. Thankful for the partnerships that are already established here. And Ms. LaMonica, for the help that you might be able to give, and Karla especially. So thank you.
Yeah, I see Yesenia has her hand raised.
Yeah, this is for Karla. How long, what's your turnover rate once they go into the shelter, and what's your capacity to take in?
Okay, so like any shelter, the turnover rate is pretty high. I would say it's less so with the veterans. you know, I haven't even worked for Wake County for 3 months. And I would say, I mean, I honestly, it wouldn't be fair for me to say, I would be guessing. But considering what I see with the dynamic at the rest of the shelter compared to the veterans stay longer and are more successful in the housing realm than just the regular clients of the shelter, if that helps. So it's better because normally right now, anyway, since I've been there, I've had a lessen caseload than the other social workers are dealing with like 25 people per caseload, and I've had like maybe 15 or 18 max. And so my caseload is much more manageable, and I'm able to, my requirements are a lot less stringent. So let me back up a little bit. So I work at the South Wilmington Street Center. However, I'm in the Veteran Services Division. So I don't work for the South Wilmington Street Center. So I play by a little bit different set of rules as to like what I can do as a case manager or social worker. My rules are a little bit different than theirs, not much, but a little bit, and it gives me a little bit more freedom on how I deal with the veterans. Theirs is a little bit more stringent than mine. So I'm able to deal with mine in a little more reasonable time frame than the other social workers there. And my requirements with them aren't so stringent like they are. So I'll start by saying that. And then my caseload is less than theirs. But yes, I've had veterans come in that have already gotten HUD-VASH vouchers that have been able to be housed. We have gotten HUD-VASH vouchers that were housing next week. We've gotten SSVF. We are about to do our first RAP voucher since I've been there. And then we've gotten guys that have moved on to either transitional housing. I don't know how many are familiar with USA Veterans Health with Ralph Petway. He's a great guy to work with. His transitional.
Is that the Butler?
No, this is in Durham. Basically, it's like 4 guys or so to a home, and it's somewhat shelterish, but it's a house, and these homeless individuals go to live in this house. And in Mr. Petway's program, it's just those gentlemen in that house, and he works with them until they're housed. So even though it's not permanently housing them, I refer, some of the gentlemen have a harder time than others in the shelter than you know, some people. And so I refer them to Mr. Petway because they seem to be a lot more successful without all the all around all the time. Because right now I think we have 139 people in the shelter. And in August, if it goes as the shelter plans for it to, there's gonna be 190 some people in the shelter. So that's just gonna exacerbate that situation. So I tried to do whatever's most comfortable for my veterans. Yes, there is some turnover. Yes, some of them have to leave, because like I said, there's rules that they have to follow. Yes, I've had to ask veterans to exit if they don't follow the rules, which we all know they can. They were in the military. We know they can follow the rules. So, but those instances, I've only had to do it twice, and they deserved it. Like, I'm pretty fair, and they deserve those times. So, but, I guess, does that answer your question a little?
LaMonica, did you have a question also? Or a comment?
Loaded. If we can recall when Miss Karla was speaking and when Paul brought up the Unite Us, we're on Unite Us, so we work with a lot of those folk. The list showed that women were 35% of that big chunk on there. And a lot of the women veterans we work with have children, or it's a multi-generational family. And to tell a woman veteran or a male veteran fleeing DV with his kids to go live in a shelter doesn't happen if they're over a certain age group. I don't know if anyone visits the shelter or goes to the shelter, but it's dorm style living in a lot of places. They do not have family style shelters available. So many folk, if they have a vehicle, elect to stay in the vehicle, even if the vehicle is disabled. Right now, on our cases, we have people ranging from the youngest right now is 26 years old, all the way up to 70 plus. And what that looks like is the 70-plus-year-old veteran in their vehicle. It is 90-some degrees outside and with 2 cats, and we're working it as best we can. And so with that being said, I know there's a lot of help for male veterans. There really is. But I'm hoping we can extend this conversation to include women veterans, who are the fastest growing community of homeless veterans currently.
I can assure you, LaMonica, that conversation is being had in Wake County Veteran Services Division. We have a couple job vacancies to fill, and that conversation will go a lot further when those vacancies are filled. Our hands are kind of tied right now. And there's also another job vacancy that's outside of Veteran Services that may or may not need to be filled before that any movement happens on that. I promise you, Siobhan's working diligently on that. She is wonderful. We totally hear you, and we could not agree more.
Shelton?
Yes, after Ms. LaMonica's comment, it brought a topic that I think we spoke about earlier here, Brooke, about potentially those with homes that are offering rooms for situations like this, where there's a veteran with kids or a family, if you will. And that I recall our program, we was talking about how many are offering rooms. So my question is, are we still investigating this, and has this also been an option that is being offered to some of those that are in need?
What am I called? I'm trying to think. Do you remember what it was called? It was a program?
I do not know. I know VA Durham had in their social work program, the HUD-VASH, something that they were helping with. But that again was over 18 months ago. But I just remember that conversation, and it just brought up, is this still an option? So
Will you put a little bit of that information in the chat? Because I was listening, not writing, and I'm gonna go back and research it. Thank you. One question that I had for Habitat, are any of the new builds that you're doing in Wake, you talked about several communities, are any of them going to be designated for veterans?
No, however, let me not say no. Let me say at Old Pool Place, we are thinking about redeveloping a portion of that neighborhood so that we will have rentals that can potentially serve veterans.
Okay.
So.
Come out there and split it.
So here's the thing, like we got the site development, right, and we got these 4 lots, and I'm like, they're big lots, right? So, the bigger the lot, the more costly the home is gonna be. So the conversation has been, do we do duplexes? Do we make this some type of cottage court? Like, what does this look like so that we can have rentals, make it a multi-income neighborhood before it's completely built out? So stay tuned.
Well, if you need anyone to lean, we can lean.
Old Pool Place.
We're gonna get, LaMonica's gonna lean, we're gonna all lean.
I work with a landlord that they are currently building studio apartments And this landlord is very veteran friendly and would love nothing more than to house veterans. And there's 100, I want to say it's 122 efficiency apartments, studio efficiency apartments, and would love nothing more than to house veterans in them. So.
They're here in Wake County?
In Wake County.
That's good.
So one thing that I'll mention, and I will be sharing more information as this comes along, but we are planning, the Joel Fund is planning, so our next housing conversation for the VMFA will be January 14th. That sounds like it's a long way away, but it's gonna be here really fast. And so Landry and I are working on the, it's gonna be the Triangle Veteran Housing Symposium. It'll basically be a half-day event where we bring in the partners who work in this space. We're going to do breakout sessions. We're gonna try to get landlords who might be interested in leasing to veterans, but don't understand the process, don't understand how vouchers work, how to, what are the requirements. So there's gonna be, the VA is gonna be involved, and so this would be a great opportunity. So as some of these things become more concrete, let's plan to have them talked about at these types of things, because to share it with the bigger group will be very beneficial. And we'll probably be doing this event in Wolfsville. So the location is still TBD.
What day is it?
January, it's Tuesday, January 14th. So it's the second Tuesday of January. But there's, as we can tell, there's so much more to discuss and ideas to share and things to learn. So we're gonna do this first big event for the housing discussion coming up. So if you get more information on that, it would be great in the meantime. And if you all make any headway on these rentals, to share.
There's still no reason why veterans can't still.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I just didn't know if there was any preference, priority, do they get extra points? Like, I don't know.
And this income is, disability isn't an income,
Absolutely.
retirement is not, so
Absolutely.
it's straight up.
We use everything with the exception of welfare benefits because they're set to end.
As an income.
Child support, alimony, disability, all that. Show me the money.
I love that. That just made my kids watch that movie. I want to save just a few minutes of time for announcements. So are there any other questions for our panelists? And I will be putting everyone's contact information in the email, the follow-up, so you can reach out afterwards also, but when we go around for questions or comments.
I got a comment.
Yes.
I think too, when you're trying to tackle this type of problem, people always talk about housing. What does that look like? Some people need emergency housing very fast. Some people, and property, I was in property management for like 10 years, but their whole goal is to retain people. And if y'all saying y'all got the money, then sometimes y'all just gotta have a conversation just to be like, you know what? We have readily available people to put in here and pay for it. So you might need to have a conversation with property managers or property owners, like you said, just know one. The last place I worked at was Sunnybrook, and the guy who owned that property, he owned the property in South Carolina too, but it was just exclusive with vets. So there are people out here who just have like, look, I'm just exclusively running the vets. That's it. So we just gotta find them sometimes.
It's like that with shared living as well. When I was working for BOA and trying to help those veterans, there were property managers that only wanted to work with vets. Yeah.
Is it because of the voucher program, you think, or is it just that, who knows?
Yeah.
So this-
If they take your to the middle of that,
you know.
This landlord likes it because typically the veterans take care of the house and the voucher. It's usually a combination of the two.
Yeah,
The subject.
that's definitely true. Yeah.
It's great.
I got a question. It's actually for Paul. You still,
He had to hop on the call. They can help you.
I'll take the boxes. I just want to give you the boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll take care. I'll take care of it.
But also, y'all, the new Department of Military Veterans Affairs resource guide is out on the street. And if you need me,
It's online too. I think.
it's online for download, but if you like hard copy, a lot of our clients like to touch it and, you know what I mean, go through the pages. Let me know. I'll be in the contacts. I can get you some boxes.
It's pretty. I noticed they don't number the page. Oh, no, 200 pages.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. They didn't put color codes and stuff, but now you can go to the pages for color.
Yeah, they're
Hey,
great.
Matt, would you
Yeah.
shoot one to San Diego for me?
Sure, no problem. I'll need some back from San Diego, I'll let you know.
I like that. Some nicer weather.
Yeah.
Okay, how about announcements? Anyone have, I know we have the Veterans Benefit Live event coming up in September. We'll have Raiders there on site for 3 days at the Cary Community Center. I know that's not what it's called, but it's the community center in Cary. So that's coming up in September. What else do we have going on?
Let's see, also, let's see, we have.
If anyone has any flyers that they want us to send out to the group. So if you, Maria, if you have a hard copy of this that I could send out, if you would email that to me, that would be great. Or Landry, one of us, yeah, Landry will send it out.
Yeah, that coffee, then we have the Women's Veteran Connection on the 26th.
Oh, yes, and the Women Veterans Millvet Summit in Cary on October 5th.
31st is always mental health training at Wake County VSO.
Okay.
If you have veterans and family members that are looking for employment, they can go onto the Recruit Military website. They're gonna have employment at NC State on the 18th. Showtime starts at, I think, 9 till 16:30 or 4:30. I think that's about it.
And did you mention the Women Veteran Coffee event that's
Yeah.
here that you guys
That's
do?
that's the 26th, correct? Yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be here, and then 31st is gonna be mental health first training, mental health and first aid training at the Wake County VSO office.
And then our Operation Art class registrations start soon. Allie, have those gone live? The Operation Art registrations?
They go live when Isabella gets back later this week.
Okay, perfect. So,
And for our veteran bill, that we're doing our season of service, so remember everyone employed on Fridays, it's gonna be September 13th, October 25th, November 13th, from chat.
So those dates for those, not to cut you off, so those dates listed on the site, so we can find them. Because what I wanna do
We have
is,
a veteran, bill page.
you do, because what I can do is, Laura is our point of contact for the employee relations group. So I'm gonna get her contact, she might already have it, and then what we can do is we can just put it on our calendar and our events. So if we have veterans that want to volunteer, they can click on the link
That'd be awesome.
to add you.
Yep, November 15th. And then the last one is December the 6th. So we'd love to have community partners come build with us. It should be fun. We'll have lunch provided. We start about 8 in the morning and go to about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
thank you. If you, we can put the veteran bill page in the email.
Great.
Shelton?
Yeah, Dietrich and I are actually trying to get down to a Veterans Live. I want to show him how we actually do it so that we can try to work and get one here in San Diego. I heard you said this one is in September, but it would not be in September. I know we won't get it that fast, but hopefully in 2025 we can make it there.
Good. That's awesome. It's such a great event. And LaMonica put Women Veteran Support Services, they have their annual luncheon October 1st. So that's coming up. And anything else? Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Our next meeting will be August 13th, and our topic will be education. So hope to see you all then, and enjoy the rest of your July. Bye.
We got sidebars. Yes, we got sidebars. We got sidebars. Oh, yeah.